What would you do if you had 10 hours to practice anything? I know if I did, I use it to sing as high as possible. One time, I was waiting in a church, not to pray or be baptized or whatever, but for a provincial singing competition. I practiced for months and was so nervous when the judge finally called my name. I tell myself the song isn't very difficult, even though in that moment it feels like it. And I practiced a lot to be prepared. I take a deep breath, walk on stage, wait for the music to begin, open my mouth, and I was awesome. At least, I was at first. My mind suddenly went blank, and I forgot all of the words. I was so embarrassed and thought maybe I should have practiced those 10 hours every day. Today, I'll share how practice makes perfect and how anyone can improve anything with perseverance, confidence, and enjoyment. I like to sing, and it has taught me that you can improve anything if you have the courage to do so. Perseverance is an important skill because learning does not happen perfectly or instantly. I almost quit singing after making mistakes on stage at that competition. But once I realized that mistakes are part of learning, I was able to keep going and improve and actually take the steps necessary to do all my practice hours. Perseverance helps with how you learn because when you're patient and willing to try again, learning becomes less stressful and more enjoyable. According to Robert Poole, PhD, people who seem to learn a skill faster at the beginning do not necessarily have advantage in the long run, and long-term improvement comes from continuing to practice. This shows that perseverance matters more than natural talent. People practice perseverance by slowing down, accepting mistakes, studying, and continuing even when learning feels difficult. Perseverance is important because it turns challenges into opportunities for growth in school, work, and life. Without confidence, even the best use of time falls short because confidence is what turns energy into a strong performance. Confidence is the energy we need to do any skill. It's kind of like an iPad or any piece of technology with a battery. If the battery dies, then it doesn't have the confidence to actually do its thing. We need to remove our limitations using confidence to continue learning and even become better at what we do. Confidence is important because without confidence, we aren't brave enough to get feedback and grow stronger from our mistakes. I noticed this in my singing competition because I find more joy in competing than I do in practicing. But I find the energy to do well so I could do well at the next competition. Confidence plays a big role in our life, so we should practice it. But if you aren't brave enough to find it, don't forget you have friends and family to support you. The most important part to mastering a skill is enjoyment. If you don't enjoy something, how are you supposed to learn it? Enjoyment makes learning interesting and engaging to make sure you keep learning. If we even don't feel the least bit of enjoyment, we won't find the desire we need to reach the end goal. Maureen Lemon and Princeton explains, when learning is enjoyable, our brains release dopamine, which increases attention, activates our memory, and helps form new neural connections. We could see this at home too. If your parents force you to take a class that you don't want to, finding the enjoyment in appeasing them can help make the class more enjoyable too. Enjoyment is the most necessary part of life and the key to improving. Last year, mistakes felt like problems to forget, to be ashamed of. But now, I know mistakes are tools, a tool to help us learn. Your patience, your confidence, and your passion. They work together for success. Today, set aside 30 minutes for your passion and become just a little bit better. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk.